Hey, just before we start, if you're looking for a quick copy and paste solution, consider using timecuts mentioned in the first comment or checking out the repository. Enjoy the watching. Hey there! In this video I'm going to explain how you can insert badges using different markup languages such as Textile, RST, Markdown, or HTML. The first point that we should understand is that there is no specific syntax for a badge or a shield in any of those markup languages. So something that we should figure out is, what is actually a badge? Well, for doing such thing, let's go to shields.io and create a simple static badge with just hard-coded information. Let's take something that I've used before to create the same kind of badges and make badge. What we've got here is a source link and this mysterious output element, which is called badge. Let's inspect it, and what we can see here isn't just an SVG or scalable vector graphics. For now, we can just call it an image. Now, we can already say that a badge is just an image, but just to prove it, let's go to Travis AI because they also provide their own badge services. Let's copy this badge using this link. And what we've got as an output is also just an SVG. So a badge equals an image. Therefore, the main question is not how do you insert a badge using different markup languages, but just how do you insert an image in different markup languages. Now let's move to the demonstration. The first markup language that I want to demonstrate is hypertext or HTML. The reason is pretty simple. Everybody knows HTML. Like, there is 99% chance that there was a moment in your life when you were completing some top premium online CSS and HTML courses. You've done it in 20% and yet you still know it. So, since we already know that a badge is an image, how do you insert an image using HTML? Well, yeah, pretty simple, just by using an IMG tag or image tag. IMG tag has two attributes which we are interested in right now, is SRC or source, which stands for source link, and alt or alternative text. This is something that should be shown if it was impossible to get the image using the source link. For example, technically right now, since the source link is empty, it is impossible to get the image. So if I were to put some text into an alt, you would see it here just as a replacement for an image. Now let's actually add the source link using, for example, our hard-coded badge that we've used before, and just put it into the source. Boom, we've got a badge. It's almost done. The only thing we should do is add some reference. By reference, I mean the place where this badge should lead me to after I click at it. And one more simple question: how do you add links in HTML? Right, just by using an A tag, which should handle all the work with links. A tag has href, which stands for reference attribute, which should contain some output links or a link to a place where this specific badge should lead us to after we click at it. So let's say it will be like https:// somewhere.com. Yeah, with wrong spelling, I know. So now, if I point my cursor over this badge, you will see in the left bottom corner that if I click at it, I will be redirected. Now, why this example is useful? Well, just because it gives us these three attributes, which will be used in every other markup language: source, reference, and alternative text. Well, of course, sometimes there won't be any alternative text. That's it, just keep it in mind. Source, reference, and alt. And now let's move to Markdown. What about Markdown? Well, first of all, let's add the pattern of how you can add an image using Markdown. It will be exclamation marks and square brackets and then round brackets. Square brackets are for alt. So for example, if I put some text right now without specifying the source link in round brackets, it will just show the text because right now it's impossible to get the image. Now I'm just specifying the source link and that's it, we've got a badge. Now if I wanted to add the reference, I would just wrap the whole image up into square brackets and then I would add round brackets, and here I can specify the output link. That's it. That's how you add badges using Markdown. Now, what about RST? Well, just another syntax, but the same terms. So we would add the image element using two full stops, then image, then two colons, and then the source link. We've got a badge. Now, if you wanted to add, for example, out, you would use just colons, out, colons, and here you just specify some text. If you want to add the reference, you would just do target. Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. You would just do target, also between two colons, and then here you would add just the link or where this specific badge should lead you to after you click at it. What about text style? Well, you could just specify two exclamation mark, then between them you would put the source link, and if you want to add the reference, you would do just colons and the link where this specific badge should lead you to. That's actually it, and the whole point of this is, the whole point of why is it important to understand about source, reference, and out is because when knowing this and knowing syntax of different markup languages, you can now translate from one language to another. Let me show what I mean. So for example, I have a repository containing some cool looking badges, and I want to copy one of them. For example, this one. I would go to edit just to see the source of this file, and then I would suddenly realize that all the badges here are listed in HTML format, but I want to all the badges in my repository be in a markdown format. But now I realize what is source, reference, and out. So let's translate this specific badge into markdown. Let's copy the source link, then go to our markdown live preview and add the source into right place, right in the middle, and boom, we've got this badge. Then, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Discord for alternative text right here, and for the reference this is just an invitation link, so we will just paste it right here and done. We've just translated this badge written in HTML into the markdown. Also, I understand that it is quite hard to copy something from a video, like pausing it every time and so on and so on. So I've created a repository where I have listed all the samples of how you can use badges in different markdown languages. I also specified some languages that I haven't described in video, but just so you have an example, I will post the link to this repository like in the most logical place wherever I post this video. And at this moment, I think that's actually it. I really hope it was helpful. Bye.